Welcome to Fire Away, Seriously Funny Conversations, the podcast where we catch up on things that make us laugh and things that make us human. We are Matt Bays and Leslie Robbins, and today we're going to talk about issues relating to body image.
Body image, yes.
Fat is a bad word.
Skincare.
Skincare. We're like the home shopping network.
Perfect.
Restaurant etiquette and how people just need to sit the F down so Leslie's not uncomfortable.
Correct.
That's all you're asking.
If I'm happy, you're happy.
Yes. Please.
Sit down.
Sit down. Baby, let me tell you, I've been watching you.
I don't know the words to that song, but I know it.
Riding my Mercedes, but no, you don't quit it. Oh my God, Abby, I will kill you. I will kill you dead.
Yuppie. My sister enjoys calling me and mocking you. As soon as I say hello, she's like, Matt, lastly. Like she always loves how you talk.
Julie Lang said something the other day about, oh my God, I love how you say podcast.
Yes.
It's so Midwestern. And I was
that's what, yeah. The podcast. This whole thing is filled with Dasani. It's disgusting. Episode 14.
You might have to do that back up a little bit.
Back it up. Is that good? I've got a dress on and it looks like a nurse outfit. I couldn't find a sweater before I started.
I don't want no scrubs.
Exactly.
No love from me.
Is there an episode we don't sing on? I'm just wondering.
No,
we sing every episode.
Never be.
You made fun of me for drinking like that last episode. And now there you are, like an idiot, doing it.
I love Lipton cup of soup.
Do they serve cup of soup?
Don't you remember Lipton cup of soup?
I remember.
It was like an 80s
ramen
thing.
Noodles. Yeah.
No, God. Ramen noodles are new.
Okay.
Lipton cup of soup was like a thing. It was like you'd peel the thing back and it was like, oh, they have soup in this little can. Oh. It's like a dog food can, but it was smaller. It was like lunch. I always wondered about people like who would show up for, like they would do lunch at work and pull out like a soup. I'm like, who are these people? What are you surviving on?
Isn't it funny?
Like soup for lunch and that's it? I would die.
Yeah.
I need meat.
I know someone who took the same exact lunch every day for like 10 years. The same exact lunch. Like a turkey sandwich with mustard, applesauce, pretzels, water every day for 10 years. I might have been married to him. Like ritual. Like, don't you get sick of it? I think my Uncle Buster ate egg salad every day for like a million years too. I think some people are just really like routine people, not me.
Well, me either. For a while, like with food, I can be where I'll order the same thing at restaurants because I hate reading menus.
Yeah. Go with what you know.
I'm not a fan of it. And if it doesn't say goat cheese or, I forget like leeks right now. I think it's something leafy, but probably not. Do you know what leeks are?
I have no idea what that is. You're a little more bougie than I am in the restaurant department.
Honey, I am not bougie. There is nothing on the menu that Chris doesn't know what it is. Mm-hmm. And even if I look it up, I will forget the next time. If it's not something normal. Right. I don't know. Well, sometimes they're using a bunch of French words and stuff. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm just taking a chance here. And then sometimes that chance pays off. And then sometimes it doesn't.
And you're going around McDonald's afterwards.
Yeah. Or you realize that's like, I can't do garlic. I can do a little garlic, but I can't do something that's heavily garlic because for some reason my body processes it weird and I taste it for 3 days. It drives me crazy. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you'll order something and it's like, well, that's the French word for garlic, and you've basically ordered garlic pie and you didn't know it, or garlic stew or garlic Lipton cup of soup.
Are you the type that would send your thing back? Like if it's not done the way you want it? No, I'll eat the whole thing and never say a word. Tip well. I just don't like to be a bother.
I know you have a little bit of a problem with that where because you're not nice, we've already decided.
I'm not, but I'm nice.
Yes, you are, but you're not the type of person to inside. We're just talking on the inside now.
Correct.
You're not the kind of person to put up with something like if somebody brings you a dirty spoon. But my guess is you just go along with it.
Yeah. I'll eat it with a knife or something. I just won't say anything.
I'll eat it with a knife. My Lipton cup of soup.
Here's another part of my anxiety. When you are in a group, let's say just like your family and somebody else's family, you're going to wherever, and the hostess takes you to your table. I want everybody to sit down immediately. I don't like this, like, where are you going to sit? What you sit over? Sit the F down. Sit down. Don't make a scene. Sit down.
Don't make a scene by standing near your table.
I feel so much anger and stress when it starts like, where do you want to sit? What you want to sit right here? Sit down. Just gonna say sit the F down.
But what is happening?
I hate it.
That is making
I don't know. But it really triggers something in me.
This episode is called Sit the F Down.
Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. Well, just sit down.
But why? There's more beneath all this.
It's like,
what's happening? You said don't make a scene.
Well, also I hate
it'd be best if they could roll you in chairs to your table so there was no option. You're already sitting.
If you're with somebody and you go to this table, it's crowded. You've waited 25 minutes and you're going to this table and they've made it ready. And they're like, do you have a booth instead? Sit down. I don't care if you don't fit in it. Sit down. Squeeze your body inside to it and sit down. Because to me, you're sitting at a restaurant, and honestly, it's all in my head.
Oh, is it? This is all in your head?
For sure. And so to me, everybody's looking at you like, go ahead, sit down so we can get back to what we're doing.
Oh, so everybody in the restaurant wants you sitting.
Yeah,
they're all thinking it together. Like, God,
yes,
I'm about to get engaged here, but I just really would like for that family to sit down.
Correct. That is exactly it.
Yeah. And you are just trying to oblige.
I am. I'm trying to not be a bother to anybody.
Yeah. So when you get to your table, you immediately grab a chair and sit.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter. You're not trying to jockey to get next to the person who you'd rather sit by.
Nope.
You're just going to sit and deal with the annoying person that you got stuck next to.
Yeah.
Because what's most important is that you are in a sitting position.
What's most important is that I feel comfortable. That I'm not uncomfortable with the awkwardness and my anxiety is.
So does this translate to other people as well? Like if they come in and don't sit right away, are you like, what is wrong with them?
No, I don't care what other people are doing.
Unless I'm with them.
Yes.
Well, of course, if you're with them, yeah. You need them to sit and you because they're a part of you.
Right. Or if somebody's like, oh, can we get an extra table brought up? Or can we arrange this a different way? No, we can't. Sit down. Sit down.
So when you're with somebody and they do the whole, can we pull tables together? Is that like your nightmare?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to go out. And when you all get this fixed, I'll come back in. I hate it.
I'm going to pretend I have to go to the bathroom because I cannot take the stress of this situation. You are acting as if this is some serious encounter, this is a stressful encounter, but this is not. It's just we've arrived and are trying to get our seating arrangements together. Even if you don't fit in that booth, squeeze your ass in there.
That's exactly right. That's right. And don't complain.
I can't breathe. Sometimes those booths are narrow. Have you ever had the ones where you try to move Like you try to move them back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough space.
Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at. Although you like when I say that, delete it or make a shirt that says that's where I'm at.
That's where I'm at.
And put like a map and put Leslie right here.
That's going to be a metaphor for your life now.
Sit down.
Just sit down.
Yeah. You know, Southwest Airlines, like they have fun on their like trips.
I don't like them. I don't
well,
like
listen, then you're going to like
stuff.
Okay.
I don't think it's cute. ValueJet had their logo and it was a happy plane with a smiley face. I don't want on a plane that's like, oh, look at me, I'm having fun. I want a plane that gets you not dead. Perfect. Not one that's a cartoon. I don't want to ride in a cartoon plane. And I don't want, the funny business with the seatbelt and like, we're all having fun. I need to know you're serious about getting me there alive.
Perfect. Because Southwest Airlines says that's who we are. And so if you don't like it, we'll miss you. You'll find another plane that you like better.
What's who we are? The fun plane?
Yeah, we have fun. That's who we are. So if you don't like it, we will miss you, but that's who we are. Go find Delta. We're not going to change. And I kind of like that.
I can get behind that. It's like, that's what you do. But I've been on those before. There was one called ValueJet. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And that's what they did. It was all shits and giggles. And I thought, I'm nervous back here. And it's almost like when somebody's nervous, you need to like meet them where they are and say, hey, is there anything I can get for you? Are you doing okay? Would you like a blanket or a pillow? Not like, this is fun. Look at these seatbelts.
Yeah. Some people might
see if they're all laughing when they're floating down the river.
Matt, it's perfect. That's perfect what you're saying, because maybe somebody feels that way about our podcast.
Are you kidding? Nobody would say that about us.
No, everybody loves us. And what we're saying is, that's okay. Go find you another podcast that you like.
We're doing the Lord's work.
Yes, right here. It's a ministry.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, if somebody doesn't like my podcast, I get it because I don't give a shit.
We'll miss you. Fine. See ya.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I used to think that with people who would come at me on social media and be like, I don't like your post recently. And I would be like, last time I checked, this is all elective.
That is exactly right. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know the audacity of somebody that feels like I haven't spoke to you in 35 years, but I'm going to let you know that I hate what you're doing.
Right.
Like, okay.
Then why follow? Unsubscribe.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's real easy. Unfollow, unsubscribe.
Totally.
You're deciding to do this and you don't like it. Good. But social media is weird that way.
It is super weird.
I heard one yesterday where people were pissed off at somebody who posted pictures and talked about weight loss and they didn't like it, yada, yada. And I was like, it just feels like a lot. Here's what I don't get about this stuff. Now, this is coming from a skinny guy who has always been skinny. Mm-hmm. But if a woman talks about like, I feel good about myself, I've lost 20 pounds, people come at her.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay. You are basically sending out that message to women who have struggled with either with weight or with eating disorders. But then another girl could post, I've gained 20 pounds. I don't give an F. Look at me. I feel good about myself. And everybody's like celebrating that. It's still connected to weight.
Yeah, it's the pendulum. So like in the early 90s or the 90s, we talked about how everybody had to be skinny. And there was like eating disorders like crazy. Everything was skinny. Skinny is beautiful. And so that was the message that we sent. And then we at some point swung the other way and said, actually, however you are is fine. Plus size women, which I am, I'm not dogging on, they're beautiful. And
which is true.
It is.
Listen, I'm gay. I'm not attracted to women sexually, but I can see a beautiful woman and respect that they're beautiful. And what my eye was always drawn to was a more fuller figured woman. Always. Not everybody's that way, but I was. So it's like, yeah, I get it. It's fine. I just don't like let somebody just if they've lost 20 pounds and they post a picture about it, good for them.
Awesome. I was telling Tom the other day, like I was looking for swimsuits
Yep.
And I was like, they have pretty swimsuits for fat girls now. Like there's bikinis. I mean, I wouldn't wear one. I wouldn't wear one if I was drop dead skinny as all get out. But they have all these options where 10, 15 years ago, it was you wore a dress, a skirt, and a tank top basically as your swimsuit. Now they're making it for everybody, which is awesome, especially somebody who is more on the plus size spectrum. But anyway, I feel like that's the pendulum now. It's like, stop giving attention to skinny and give attention to plus size. And it's just like, let's just be in the middle and just let people be whoever they want to be. If they lose 20 pounds, if they want to gain 20 pounds, great. Just be, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Skinny,
totally. I think it's so obvious that it comes from some feeling of something that I've not resolved with myself. I just think it is really transparent sometimes for people who go after other people about their own issues. Listen, there are some obvious things that you go after. Racism, homophobia, anything that marginalizes others. And some people might say that weight stuff does too, and I'm sure it does, but they're just proud they worked hard at something.
Yeah.
And they're not saying it makes them a better person. They're saying they feel healthier. They feel more comfortable in their own skin. They think they look great. Good.
Yeah.
Well, but some people would say, why connect weight loss with looking great? It's like, okay, but Lizzo, she can connect it.
Yeah.
Being large with looking great. And we're all applauding. And we should. Both can be true and both can exist. There is space for all of us. I think we just resolved something and we didn't resolve shit.
I don't get it. Like if I'm giving somebody crap about losing weight, then clearly I have an issue with my own weight. Because who would care? Who cares?
Well, that's the stuff that gets me sometimes, Leslie, where you hear people be like, somebody's lost weight and they're like, it just looks really unhealthy. I'm really concerned. Like, oh, you're going to ascribe an eating disorder to them now because you don't like that they lost weight.
Yes, that's right.
Or some guy goes on a workout routine and gets super in shape and we're like, but it's like he's just obsessed. It's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, it has to have a negative connotation to it. Oh, she's losing weight. I bet she has a boyfriend. Or, it's always negative. It can't just be like, oh, she went to the doctor and they said she was pre-diabetic. So she's losing some weight to get that in check. Or she just wants to.
Yes. We need to celebrate each other. We need to bring, like my mom, the Nana Claus. This needs to be the Nana Claus because she loves everyone and is always championing people. Like she just doesn't have bad things to say about people. Not anyone. I mean, it's not like she's, Pollyanna. She knows that things are stupid sometimes or whatever. But by and large, whatever has to do with her family or her friends, nieces, nephews, grandkids, all that kind of stuff is always to lift them up and to celebrate them. And I know that I've inherited some of that, which I'm thankful for. I'm way not nice as she is, but it doesn't ever feel like she's trying to promote herself by pushing anyone. I have never seen her do that in my life. And the funny thing is, here's another one that makes me laugh. So I used to go to this retirement community when my girls were small. It was our spring break trip. And it's all old people at this like retirement like thing in Florida. Okay. And everybody's old.
Yeah.
Old. Okay. Leslie, even in that environment where everyone's old, there's still the hierarchy of beauty and masculinity and who's hot and who's not. And the hot girls are old ladies.
Yes.
And then the ones that aren't are really old.
Yeah.
Can barely get on a floaty in the pool. And there's talk. You hear this chatter about like, she's always coming down here in that two-piece,
Oh.
Right. And this woman they're talking about is 75. Like, because she comes down in a two-piece with her visor and sunglasses. And it's like,
yeah, she's 75.
She's 75. You're just 95.
Right.
And you don't like it.
Right.
That is funny to me. And we're all on spring break. All of us are kids and grandkids in our 20s and 30s at the time. Yeah. Right. And we're like, I'm sorry. Who here thought that they were hot still?
I can't imagine, but maybe. I hope I feel like I'm hot at 75.
I mean, good. But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
okay.
Boy, interesting. She comes in here prancing around in her two-piece with those sequin flip-flops.
They say like in TV shows, like in even movies, like there always has to be a conflict and it has to be resolved in the episode.
Yeah, if it's good.
I think that we're like that in our life too. Like we don't just want a boring life. And I'm not saying we need to cause drama, but it's like there's something in us, maybe naturally, that just like finds the villain of our life in that season. Like that 75-year-old woman wearing like we just come up with it.
Yeah. I
you
love
know what I'm
that.
saying? Like I think that we just kind of create our own conflict that needs to be resolved, because I don't know why though.
There are people who struggle to just be okay when things are okay. Everything's okay in somebody's life. So really small things tend to be a big deal now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So they're finding someone to villainize or something to be tragic over. That's not even a big deal.
Totally. My neighbor across the street is probably in his late 70s, maybe even early 80s. And he is very obsessed with his yard. He's almost like the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where he's like in a hammock and he like looks at a magnifying glass at the grass. Like he's perfectionist and like he's always out looking at his grass. And I'm like, this is your thing now, grass. Yeah. Has it always been his thing where like we had a delivery truck come and deliver like wood for our fireplace, and it got like the way he backed up, it kind of got up in his yard. He ran out and ripped the guy over it. And we were like, it's winter. The ground is frozen, but he was tore up about it. He had his driveway repaved. It looked fine. He had it repaved. And then he would just go out and study it. And those guys would have to come back. They had to redo it. And I'm like, this guy stresses me out. But that's like all he has. That's all he has.
Well, it's not all he has.
No, but in his mind.
Yes. It's what he's chosen to focus on.
Yeah.
I know. Man, we're all human.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me how humanity, if we're not careful, can get away from us and we just become shallow, Yeah.
He was sweeping the road the other day with a broom. It's the road. He was sweeping it. I'm like, can I bring you a board game? I don't care about anything that much.
I know it feels compulsive.
Yeah.
Almost. But I'll tell you what, everything comes into view when you lose a child or, here we go down the death road.
Death. I mean, we need a song. Honestly, we need a song for
Something's got to die. Something's got to die. Someone's got to die on the Fire Away podcast. There's our song. But everything comes into view when something like that happens. All of a sudden, you're not worried about sweeping the damn road.
Yeah.
But if we can kind of hold on to that perspective, like things are actually really good right now. I'm going to enjoy this season and this moment. I have one of the greatest seasons of my life right now. It really is. Like my life right now it won't always be. But listen, I've had a ton of hard shit in my life. And I am in this place right now where it just feels like the planets have aligned. I found love. I'm just doing so good, And I'm just not going to F it up with a bunch of negative talk and worry and complaining. There's still stuff there that I'm trying to figure out, and there always will be. But right now, my life is not overly complicated. So I'm going to be positive about it, be happy with it, and be grateful for it.
Yeah.
God, we can do that in the hard times. We should be able to do it in the good times.
Love it.
End
I
recording.
get knocked down. I get up again.
You ain't never going to keep me down. I get knocked down. Oh, guess what? I was at the gym the other day and Dr. Phil was on and I just did hey Siri, what's Dr. Phil's net worth?
Yep.
More than Mariah Carey, over 500 million. Dr. Phil.
I think that he has more things going on than just his show. I think he has books, he has a podcast, and I think he has investments in other things. Like I think his son has like a app that's like, it's not BetterHelp.com. It's not BetterHelp, but it's like you can go on and you have access to doctors. Instead of going into a doctor's office, you can do it on this app.
Yeah.
And I think he does that. Something like that. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you something. The other day I saw a TikTok and it had a guy and a girl sitting there and it just said, in every lasting marriage is one boring person. And it showed this guy and then it panned over and said, and one crazy person and showed the woman. And that was the end of it. And I just thought it was funny that in a lasting marriage, there's one boring person and one crazy person. And I'm talking to Chris about this. I just tell him the story and he was like, well, we know which one we are. Well, I knew what he meant. And I was like, I'm sorry. You just said that so nonchalant as if everybody knows. And he goes, well, I mean, I am the boring one. And I was like, oh, that's not what you meant.
You meant I'm the crazy one is what
exactly. You meant. That's what you really meant. We're not supposed to use that word crazy, but we just did it. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Don't say it no more. It's going out of style.
It is.
You know what else is? There's a word that you use.
That I do?
Yes. Okay. And I'm always surprised and it always makes me wince a little bit when you say it. Are you ready?
Oh, God.
I was just going to make you feel bad. It's the F word.
You say it too.
Fat.
Oh, fat. Okay.
You say fat.
What do you say? What do you say? Chubby? What do you say?
Well, you just did plus size, a lot of that. But you said fat people in a two-piece or something like that. You were talking about.
Yeah, but whatever. It's just fat. It's fat. We made it a bad word. It's just what it is.
Fat is a weapon. That is a weapon word.
Made by us.
Right. So, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a weapon word where people have teased people for being fat.
Okay.
Well, and I'm just saying when people use the word fat, when they say I'm fat, I don't know that they're redeeming the word. I think that feels a little self-derogatory.
I think the word thick is coming in style.
Oh,
like,
thick is.
They're thick, like in a good way.
Thick. Yeah.
But like thick is fat. Well, what's the difference? It's just that we made this word bad and thick now is perfect. It's cool. It's a buzzword.
Yeah, but that's for every category. Like for gay people, there are words that are.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? That mean the same thing, but it's like, I don't know. That word always feels like sort of like I'm fat and I don't care. It's like, well, plus I don't know. Who cares?
I remember when I worked at Merle Norman in 2000 and they told me when an older woman comes in, don't say wrinkles. You say mature skin. And I remember being like, whatever. It's wrinkles because I was 20. But now I'm like, I get it now. I've got mature skin.
I understand now that I have mature skin.
Now that I have mature skin, I understand. We just try to make a pretty word for something that it really is. What it really is you're old and you have wrinkled skin, but mature skin sounds better. If I'm 75 and I walk into Merle Norman and there's a 20-year-old girl going to be doing my makeup, I don't want her to. What does a 20-year-old know about how to like fix my wrinkles and like conceal that stuff? I'm going to have glitter and I'm going to be like, because she's going to do my makeup like her.
Did you ever see the movie My Girl with Macaulay Culkin?
Yes.
Remember they ran a funeral home and Jamie Lee Curtis got hired and said she'd do this pastor's wife that died, her makeup and made her look like a whore.
Exactly though. But if you're 75 and they're going to put like the trends of a 20-year-old face on you, it's going to look stupid. there's a different way to do an older person's face. Like you don't do the same things.
Yeah.
And so I'd be like, no, I'll just take this home and do it myself. Thank you.
But you've got some highlight in the corner of your eyes, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm not doing my
You have
makeup.
very clear skin.
Okay. Thank you. But I'm not going to put the glitter on like the young girls.
Yeah. Well, what I've discovered about women, middle-aged women, is they stop with the glitter on their face and then they just put it on their chest.
Well, let me
Am
go
I
to
wrong?
Walmart and get me some glitter.
People put like the dust, it's not glitter,
Shimmer.
It's shimmer. There's shimmer on their chest.
That was big time. And like when I first started college, it was the style. Like you bought this body glitter and you put it all over you and you did it up here and you put it everywhere. I mean, it was
here for it, all of it.
On your arms. It was the stuff. So I don't know. I think it's called like contouring. There's like a shimmer that you can put on that's kind of a shimmery, lighter color that's supposed to help give you a certain glow. But I just don't know at 41.
There are some people that there's this makeup look with the super heavy brow, with the tons of foundation and tons of contouring, highlight on the nose, all above the lip. And then the super blonde beach wave hair. It's a category where you can line up 20 women that all have that, and they all look like sisters.
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing to me. What do you look like under there? Like, what do you actually look like as a person? Because this is a certain look.
Yeah.
And everybody looks exactly the same. I find that to be strange.
When I was in high school, there's a town next to mine called Grayson, but it was called East Carter County. And anybody who's listening, there's no way anyone from East Carter is listening to this, but they all look the same. All their cheerleaders, bleach, white hair, tanning bed orange, and like red lipstick. They all looked exactly the same. It was like, oh. And so now sometimes when I'm describing somebody to my sister or my mom, I'll be like, she looks very East Carter. And
they know.
They know. It's like very East Carter. And they're like, oh. I bet they are all looking really nice now. But back in the day.
Yeah. Hard. Yes. I remember my mom sold Mary Kay for a hot minute when I was in high school. And I remember the people coming over. She bought this kit. And I remember that this kit was like $110.
Yes.
It doesn't even seem like that much now. I mean, you can buy freaking concealer that cost $110. Right?
For sure. Oh, for sure.
Right. Anyway, it had like 3 different kinds of lipstick, 3 different kinds of blush, but it also had the cleanser, what's the astringent?
Toner.
Yes. Toner. And then the moisturizer, right?
Yes. You're on it.
Okay. And I remember I wanted to try all this stuff because I didn't have acne. I had normal acne for a teenager. So it wasn't like I was one of those kids that had 0. Right. I had normal, but you know how it is. When you're 15, you think you have it worse than everybody.
I need Mary Kay.
Oh, and I'd go after my face till it was bruised, pushing and picking, all of it. We have figured so many things out.
We have. Oh my God.
We got back into makeup. I just wish Ra was here.
Oh man, she would be all about it.
That's it for us today on Fire Away. We'll be back with more seriously funny conversations next week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/podcast Fire Away and on Instagram at fireaway_podcast. And watch us via video on YouTube. You can see our pretty faces. We've done a lot of good skincare, so catch up with us there. Eat your little heart out, I swear.
A poet and don't know it.
And fire this podcast off to a few friends. We keep telling you to do that and you never do.
Never.
So do it. Fire away.
Fire away.
We did it.